Hi guys, and welcome to another new section of some magical story time. This one's for urban legends, those stories that start out as just harmless campfire stories that are told as if they're true stories, but then each time they're retold, parts of the story change and they're morphed into something new. So guys, I thought to kick this section of some magical story time off, I would retell one of my favourite urban legends. And the urban legend I've chosen to retell is the clown statue. Now, imagine, if you will, a couple, a mum and a dad, going out for the night and hiring a babysitter to watch their kids. Well, that's exactly what the couple in this story did. They were going out for the night, so they hired a babysitter to watch their kids. And told them the kids could stay up for another hour, then they had to go to bed. Well, told the babysitter this. So, once the parents were gone, the babysitter gave the kids their dinner, and after another hour, she put them to bed, and then settled down in the parents' room to watch TV. But this was no ordinary TV viewing, because in the corner of the parents' room there stood a life-size clown statue, which seemed to unnerve the babysitter. Unnerved her so much that when the parents called to check in and see if everything was okay, she asked if she could cover up the clown statue in the corner of the bedroom, only to receive the chilling reply, "We don't have a clown statue," coming from the father on the other end of the phone. Alarmed, she then went racing up to the kids' bedroom to find them slain, because as it turns out, what she thought was a clown statue was an intruder in a clown costume, just standing there in the corner of the room like a statue. There, looks can be deceiving. That's only the first of the stories I'm going to present here today, because I've got another one for you guys. Yes, another one. The next urban legend I'm going to share with you is the Backseat Killer, or the Killer in the Backseat. And this is another straightforward one to tell, actually, because it details a young woman driving down what otherwise appeared to be a deserted street in the middle of the night. All the while there was a car flashing their headlights behind her. So she, also tailing her. So she pulls into a gas station for help. And that's when the driver of the car behind her jumps out, races after her, and turns her to face her car. And stepping out of the back door is a man with a knife. Who got blinded by the lights of this woman saviour's car every time he flashed. And every time the killer tried to make the killing move. having to duck down. Neither of these stories is true. They're all purely legends. Okay. Now guys, this next story may chill your bones more than the last two, and I'll explain why at the end. Here we go. The Girl in the Shadows. Now this is the story of a man who lives alone in an apartment, who goes out to work and comes back to find food missing from the fridge, and that his things have been used. Unsure what this is, sure though he has an intruder, he sets up a security camera to try and catch the intruder in the act. So the next day, the camera's all set, and he goes out, and the same things happen. Only this time, when he comes back and checks the footage, he discovers that a woman is crawling out from the cupboard, using his things and eating his food, and then going back into the cupboard. Now guys, I suppose you think I'm going to tell you this is a false story. If you are, and you don't believe for 1 second it could be the opposite, then I'm going to have to tell you that you're wrong to think so, because this is a true story. It did actually happen to a man in Japan who did the exact same things I've just described in the story. And the woman, by the way, was in her 40s, and she'd been living for days in the cupboard. That would be one freaky wake-up call, wouldn't you think? Now, this next story, I'm going to call The Dumb Crackheads, and you'll know why. It deals with two crackheads who share an apartment together, who do nothing more than sit on their butts smoking crack all the time, hence the term crackheads. And one evening, they were just sitting around, smoking their crack as usual. When one of them reaches for the phone to make a call. The only thing is that it turns out to have been the police who have answered the call, and they've come to arrest the crackheads. So yes, two crackheads who have ended up calling the police on themselves. This, guys, is another true story, I'm afraid. This actually did happen. So, in America of all places. So, well, it could be anywhere, but, you know, it did happen. And I'm going to close off with another classic, The Choking Doberman. Now, this is a gripping tale. A young woman goes out to work, leaving her dog to guard the house, and she comes home to find the dog choking. So she rushes him to the vet for an examination. And when the vet calls back, she receives the chilling news that the dog has swallowed a severed human finger, and that she should check the basement for an intruder. So she checks the basement and finds out that there was indeed an intruder. A burglar had broken into the house, and the dog, in defense of the house, had pinned him up against the wall and bitten off his finger. Now, don't worry, guys, don't worry. This story's not true. It's purely a legend. And I'm glad to have shared these stories with you today. And in some episodes, I'll share a few stories like I have today, and in others, they'll be quite short because I'll only cover one story. So look out for the next installment of the Urban Legends category of Some Magical Story Time. Until then, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Until the next video, thanks for watching and have a magical time.